Want to get high?
Off with the ball!
Gotta stop playing on my phone.
That's right.
Ruh-roh.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh no. What you don't understand. This is a special ASMR episode where we talk very quiet and we act very good because we are recording this episode in the evening time.
That's right. It's after hours.
After hours, a late night episode.
After hours here on. You know what? Let me even turn you up a little bit. Let me get these levels right. After hours here in the old
in the dungeon.
What do we even call it?
This is our home studio
Our
here
home
in New
studio
York City.
here in New York City. It's
our living room.
It's a very special episode. It is the Milk and Cookies episode.
Mm-hmm.
What's Santa's favorite little PJ time snack, little bedtime snack? Milk and cookies. Get a load of this shit. Little Oreo cookie. An Oreo thin.
Do you guys like mouth noises?
Ew. All right. This is Will and Ava's Christmas movie marathon. Let me get a little milk in here.
Yeah, wet your whistle, because we got a lot of talk. We got a whole lot to talk about tonight.
That's right. So.
You got cookie crumbs on your face. You're looking crazy.
So, today, I forgot my Santa hat.
You
rats.
just can't do.
I keep forgetting my Santa hat.
Oh, sorry. I was going to very cruelly say you just can't do anything right, can you?
By gum.
But I feel like it's actually not that serious.
But yeah, so here's the deal. Today, we are covering all of our films from day one of our Christmas film showcase. Day one, Fall on Your Knees.
Mm-hmm.
Our horror, gore, creature-oriented Christmas
Surreal.
films. But before we get into that, we have to plug it one more time because you have one more chance to go to the actual Christmas film showcase here in Astoria in New York City at QED. Last week was fantastic.
It was a
It
blast.
was so much fun. Thank you everyone who came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one more day. This is day 2. Ava, what is day 2 of the Christmas film showcase all about?
Day 2 is aptly titled Joy to the World.
That's all right.
Wait, I actually
you
sang
it
wrong.
in the rhythm of Fall on Your Knees.
Joy to... Oh my God, don't break the Christmas tree.
You say,
Here's
joy
a whole
to
mess.
the world.
Barney's dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
But no, joy to the world. Our joy to...
I'm writing your hat. Now it's a pointy Christmas tree.
Joy to the World. Our Joy to the World program is basically Christmas comedies, retellings.
Yeah, retellings of Christmas classics you might recognize.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be such a good vibe.
Yes.
I am so excited. I mean, both days were great. I'm really excited for day 2. I think it's going to be really fun.
Yes, we've got more filmmakers in attendance for our Q&A after the film screening. We've got some really great ones. We've got multiple Ebenezer Scrooge films, including our feature film presentation, Ebenezer the Traveler.
Yes.
We've got all sorts of good stuff. We've got some fun stop-motion animation. We've got some fun kind of found footage style stuff. It's a program of shorts and then a feature presentation and a Q&A with the filmmakers. It's $10. You can buy tickets at the door, but buy them online. Why not?
You can't buy a glass of milk and a cookie for any cheaper than that.
No, exactly.
You know?
I think I'll have another. That the Christmas Film Showcase, the tickets for December 22nd at 3:30 p.m. at QED, $10, will be in the link in the description of this podcast episode or this YouTube video.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, Christmas Film Showcase on Instagram. You can follow us since you know us, and we'll be talking about it.
That's right.
And we're all just so excited. We're jumping for joy. We're bouncing in our seats like babies in a bassinet.
That's right.
It's just an absolute pleasure and a joy. It's gonna be so much fun. Last week was awesome.
Last week was so fun.
Pumped. Yeah. I bet you all have crazy FOMO.
Yeah. Come on.
If you didn't go, like, I would never forgive myself.
What are you even doing? Come on.
But today is a very special episode because we are going to be talking about the amazing films that we screened
last week at Fall on Your Knees. So this week is about Day 1. Next week, our podcast episode is going to be covering Day 2. And then our New Year's episode, our episode that comes out the first weekend of 2025, is going to be about our online selections, which will hopefully be up and running by that point.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, so those will be the films that we selected to screen online. Next week will be the films that we are screening tomorrow at QED. And let's get into it, Ava. So when we were picking our films, we, again, watched, roughly 13 hours of Christmas content. And something kind of came to the fore that a lot of the ones that seemed very interesting or quote-unquote programmable or really funny or particularly interesting, there were a fair amount of them that kind of veered in the slight direction of the horror genre or monster movie or kind of more sordid and abstract side of Christmas.
Which is ultimately very different than what we talk about on this podcast normally.
Yeah.
I think like we really take a lot of interest in scroll up really quick. Can I see this one? What is that? Am I in trouble? No, I'll just look at it later. It's a little bit different than what we usually take interest in with this podcast, because I think we're very interested in like kind of like classic like Christmas movies, like more like romantic comedies,
something that's aspiring to that like Hallmark,
but not a
Hallmark movie, but something that might be aspiring to be like, oh yeah, we're making this kind of profitably motivated, or like we want this to really grab people's attention or be a new family classic or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, horror grabs your attention more than anything else.
But when you put a film festival out into the world and you call it that you're looking for low-budget, high-concept Christmas B-movies, you're
gonna get a lot of horror.
People would accurately read that as, okay, let me submit my Christmas horror movie. And a lot of them were really great, and everything we programmed on Day 1 was something we were really excited to share with the crowd that showed up.
And I will say that this program, though, you keep saying it was all horror. It wasn't all horror.
In fact, probably like 2 of them qualify as horror. Even a little bit of a stretch.
The program was a little bit more eclectic than that, in the sense that it was, a few horror films, but also films that were like surreal, or films that like had a little bit of like a darker tone,
a bit of an edge,
or even comedy films that have like a parody horror premise, like Housebroken.
Yeah, Housebroken isn't a horror movie; it's a comedy, but it has like a creature, a creature costume, and we thought that fit with the rest of the films.
Yeah, and even just like a movie that was like kind of like surreal, or like had like kind of moments that were kind of like trippy or like whatever.
Yeah,
that qualified into this program, because we didn't just want to play slasher films. I mean, like,
no, our feature had slasher elements, but everything else was kind of just more about being a little edgier, a little more abstract, and a little more cutting edge, or on the edge. Christmas on the edge. All right, so now that we kind of talk about how we kind of programmed these films and pulled them together, we felt that all of these films had something within that abstract or genre adjacent or kind of more trippy, edgy feeling. Should we get into the films?
I would love to get into the films.
Each day of our in-person festival, as well as our online festival, has an element of this as well. It has a program of shorts. We programmed for Fall on Your Knees 5 short films. Our short films had to be 40 minutes or less.
Yes.
And each day also has a feature film. Our feature films, to qualify, had to be about Christmas or about a holiday. We didn't even specify like a winter holiday. We said they could be about any holiday.
Yeah, although we really didn't get any films about
We only got Christmas movies.
Yeah, which good on them.
We named the thing the Christmas Film Showcase.
Yeah.
But if you made a movie about Hanukkah, if you made a movie about Thanksgiving, if you made a movie about 4th of July, it would have been eligible. Yeah.
We would have considered it.
That being said, our features had to be about a holiday, and they had to be 50 minutes or longer. And
sorry if your movie was 47 minutes.
Yeah. Each day had has a program of features and a feature film. So let's get into our short film block. We started off our short film block with a really interesting and extremely striking not one shot per se, but single composition.
It was a single frame.
Single frame, single shot film. Duck, coming to us from director Max Kane. Ava, talk about Duck.
Yeah, so Duck is, again, like it all takes place in a single shot. It's a through the window shield in a car.
Yeah, it's like a camera locked off at the hood of a car, taking up the frame. On the edge, you can see a little bit of the road passing by, but mostly all you can see is the windshield in at the driver, which is the cinematographer and kind of co-filmmaker actor Joey Kurlock playing Frank.
Yeah, and it was following like a road trip.
Yes.
A road trip that he was taking, his character was taking from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles.
Yes.
And we read the director's cover letter, his director's statement, and it was supposed to be kind of a mirror to his director. I believe went to I don't want to be incorrect about what school he went to, but he went to school somewhere in the East Coast. I thought it was Temple, but I might be wrong. Went to school on the East Coast and was going to move to LA, you know, us filmmakers trying to move to LA and New York. And it was kind of like a metaphor for like some of his anxieties moving to LA.
Dealing with some of the like, I'm going to miss out, like, some guilt over leaving a younger brother behind plays into the film, as well as what was he experienced that while he was on his drive out to LA.
Yes. And the film takes place over holidays, and it is ultimately a like comedic but very dark in tone.
It has a very sort of it takes place over, you know, the time that it takes to drive from rural PA to Los Angeles, but it almost has the quality of a One Crazy Night kind of after hours film where things just keep kind of spiraling and snowballing and going wrong and getting more absurd and more out of control and more dark, and also more, as they get darker, they get a little more like, this has a sort of absurd and dark sense of humor to it.
Yeah, exactly. It was really cool. I thought that it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
We actually, I believe, are giving it everything that we screened. We're giving like an award or superlative.
That's correct.
And this one's award was best cinematography that we're going to send to Max this week. Because whoever did it, I gave the in-person award to people that came in person. And
yes,
then
they were presented.
But I'm going to send the rest over the next few weeks as I have the time. But yeah, I mean, like, it looked really, really solid.
Extremely deserving. I think it was just a as soon as, you know, the film starts and we see the first image, you're immediately captured by an extremely sleek looking frame, and you know, the choice to stay locked off, save for two brief camera movements that
very
happen.
small.
They're very small and
There's
they're
like
very
one,
deliberate.
like little tilt.
Pan,
It was really nice.
Great performance at the center as well from Joey Kurlock. He really sustains. From what I understand,
he really does sustain.
Max was directing in between takes and in the back.
He was in trunk, apparently.
The trunk of the car as Joey was driving, and they were speeding on the camera.
Yeah,
which is really something.
We
have ads on our TV.
I didn't know this was an ad, snow visualizer of ads on it.
You got to make that money, baby.
Yeah, I think that cha-ching.
But very deserving of best cinematography.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the actor really sustains. You know, the story is like very interesting. The actor's funny on a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes people try to be funny and it's cloying, and I don't find him ever really cloying.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was 18 minutes. I felt like it could have been maybe like 5 minutes off of it. But other than that, like, I just thought it was a really good short film.
It also features the main character's ringtone is the comedian Jean Lajoie's song "Show Me Your Genitals."
Yeah.
Which was an interesting. I would be interested to hear from Max and Joey about what inspired that choice as the main character's ringtone, because it shows up maybe twice, maybe 3 times in the movie, and to greater comedic effect. As the things get a little more serious and out of hand. Duck. Highly recommend checking this out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has it put out on Vimeo himself yet, or what exactly is going on with that, but I think it's a really strong piece of work. I was also looking over Max's Instagram, and I think he just completed a new project recently that looks really cool.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah. So congrats, Max, on your new project.
Thank you for sharing your film with us.
Thank you for sharing your film with us, because
and,
it was so cool.
Everyone at the screening was really struck by it.
It got some big pops.
Yes, yeah. Some gasps and a handful of laughs. Which I'm sure was exactly what he would have wanted. We were super excited to open it up with Duck, because we really thought it was one of our aesthetically, the way this film is pulled off is so impressive. And we thought that it was such a strong film to open the day and open the festival with. Yeah. God, because also, like, filming stuff in a car is such a fucking nightmare. It really is. Especially when you're working in like a low budget, and it's just like, and apparently with this film it's just 2 guys. Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't know if it was like a suction cupped tripod head thing or a full-on rig, but like some sort of car rig, like that looked good. It was not shifting and falling off. Like, to get that consistent shot every time. I would be really interested to see what the camera setup, was for this film, and what camera they shot on. But Duck, from director Max Kane, was our first film, and a film we were super excited to play. What to follow Duck up with, our best cinematography winner, but our another one of our favorites from the submission pool. This one falls a little bit more into your kind of common horror trope of like a killing slasher, killing them off one by one film. This is the from Pittsburgh filmmaker Todd Wolfson. This is Monty Cracks. Yeah, this is some young Gen X excellence. This Monty Cracks, elder millennial young Gen X excellence right here. Monty Cracks got maybe our biggest laughs of the festival. I would say I really adore Monty Cracks. It tells the story of a man named Monty who is kind of the local Poindexter. He gets beat up by his local adult man bullies, and he gets kicked to the point of bleeding by a dumpster one night, where a sugar plum fairy, a kind of goth girl baddie in the sky, comes to, played by Megan Rose in a really standout performance in the film. Yeah, and everybody laughed when she came on. She says, what she says? She says, "Crushed their skulls." Cut off their balls. And that Monty does. Monty, played by JJ4's Monty Dangleberry, gets back at these 3 bullies that beat him up by dressing up in face paint, a top hat, and some kind of steampunky glasses, and taking some head shears to his bullies, assailants' balls. Get his bullies' balls off of there. It's super funny. Really creative, like horror kills. Yeah, I also think it executes like being like kind of like a we're just doing a dick joke thing, but like it's still like really fun to watch. Totally. Like it never gets like annoying as you watch it. It's very funny. It's 6 minutes long. It never overstays its welcome. Yeah, totally. It's a laugh a second. I almost said a laugh a minute, but that would seem that there were 6 laughs. I'd say there's more than 6 laughs in Monty Cracks. Laughing a lot, yeah. It was really, really fun. There's a great animated nutcracker that's like, "Go for the balls." Yeah. and always telling Monty to cut those guys' balls off.
It's also just like a good example of like you can like just make a short film with your friends and like put like not any money in it and like make something really fun.
Oh, certainly.
You know what I mean? Like it was like fun. Yeah, they're saying the budget is like $250.
$250.
Yeah, I mean like, and I don't want to say like, oh yeah, I can tell. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that it's like, yeah, like you can just like get your friends together and like, oh, I have this idea, and just like do it.
Well, and perhaps
when and it was really fun.
When you say I can tell, it's like the $250 was money well spent.
Yeah.
The balls look really gross in this movie.
Yeah. It isn't just like ketchup on them, but even if it was just ketchup, I think it would have still been funny.
Well, and the balls are like these kind of like large kind of walnut shaped like slimy bloody
it looks like the inside of your balls
and he puts them in one of his bullies' mouths before smashing his head like a watermelon with a sledgehammer, Gallagher style. He hangs one of the nuts on his Christmas tree at the end, which led to Monty Crack's Todd Wolfson being awarded the Best Christmas Decorations in a Film award for
the ball ornaments.
The gonads on the Christmas tree ornament. Yeah,
super fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, it's great.
I like it when he kills like the guy that's jerking off to porno.
Yeah. The bully number 2, Matthew.
That's a funny kill.
He's jerking off to a porno mag.
Yeah, while standing up, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, very good.
I don't think that people. I mean, I don't have a penis, and I'm not going to ask you to comment upon this, but I feel like most guys aren't holding a magazine and like standing up straight while jerking off.
Hey, you never know.
And yelling at the magazine like, "Oh yeah, you're a hot bitch."
Yeah, he was talking to the magazine.
It's very cartoony, and funny. Like I'm not like a huge slasher person. Like in all honesty, I don't like slasher. I don't really watch that much horror in general. But I like enjoyed this.
Oh yeah,
I really liked it.
I love Monty Cracks. Monty cracks, and we love watching him crack because he's cutting those balls off.
Oh, and I'm so glad that when he submitted this film, there was like an issue with the sound.
The whole soundtrack wasn't playing on our file.
So we asked him to resend the file, and I'm so glad he did. Like yay.
Oh my gosh,
it was good.
And when we started watching it, and we got like 2 minutes in, and we were like, okay. Totally no sound, and we skipped ahead and we were like no sound, but we saw what Monty Dangleberry looked like. We were like, we really want to see this, so we reached out to him and he sent us a good version, and oh my god, we're so glad that he did, because it was such a pleasure to show people this movie.
And also because I'm just gonna say I really am taking pride in running the most ethical film festival ever made. And if I get a submission and I can tell that there's accidentally an issue with the export and I can't give it sound, I'm gonna reach out to the filmmaker and tell them.
Yeah, let them know, like get it in on time.
Well, not even that, because I don't want them to submit it to like 5 other things and waste a bunch of money.
No, exactly. You gotta look out for people, because we've
paying it forward.
We've made movies in the past and submitted films to film festivals on Film Freeway, and we know that sometimes that can be a demoralizing or like difficult and expensive experience. Yeah. We tried to keep the festival affordable.
So I made the prices for the festival, the submissions, literally as cheap as I could manage to make them. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, if you submit to me your feature-length film one day before the deadline, like, that's going to have to be more expensive.
We're getting kind of into the weeds of the making a film festival on Film Freeway.
Cool.
It is interesting.
Cool.
We'd never done it before.
It was really fun.
We'd never been on the other side of it. Like I said, we'd submitted things before, but we'd never opened up Film Freeway to see like, oh, I can like give a movie a green flag and a movie a purple flag and a thumbs up and rate it out of 10 and all the judging like side of it. We finished the cookies. Cookies gone. Buy cookies. But yes, so all this to say, Monty Cracks, we're so glad, Todd, that you sent us the proper or the corrected file, because it was so fun to show people this movie. People could not believe what they were seeing.
Yeah, and Todd, if you ever listen to his podcast, just know, like, people were laughing. People really liked your movie.
It was definitely a crowd favorite.
It got a really good reaction.
And
which is awesome.
Congratulations on
$250 well spent.
Congratulations on being awarded Best Christmas Decoration in a film.
Yes.
Of the entire festival, all Christmas decorations were beat by those balls.
Mm-hmm.
Next up in our shorts program, we have a film about a creature.
Yes.
This would be the film Housebroken from writer-director John Kessner. John Kessner's film Housebroken, which tells the story of a little girl who wants a pet, and her dad is a little trepidatious about bringing a dog into the house, but his wife's relatives from quote-unquote the old country.
Yeah, I'm getting because they're Romani in some way, or
there's some
or maybe from Transylvania.
There's an ancient magic that they are able to tap into and bring in a pet that is
a Christmas gift.
As a Christmas gift to the daughter character. They bring in a Christmas gift pet that is a little bit more monstrous than I think this father would have wanted.
Yes, they gift the pet. They gift the daughter a werewolf.
A werewolf.
It's kind of like a mockumentary style, like, or like The Office style.
There's some direct to camera
skits.
Interviews. It's kind of we watch the action play out with voiceover from the different characters giving like
their testimonials
context
about what happened. I really liked the werewolf costume.
Yes.
A lot.
The werewolf was, when we first see the werewolf,
got a big pop, big laugh.
Very big reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
A very big reaction from us when we were screening it while we were programming the festival. We were like, oh, no way. This is such a great werewolf. And the reveal that he is a werewolf, that he turns into a guy during the day, is also very funny.
Yes, very funny.
Squirt is the name of the werewolf
Squirt
that
the
daughter gives. And Squirt becomes what's his name?
I don't know.
It's a funny name.
Oh God, I can't remember.
I'll have to pull it up.
Ooh, loud.
But Squirt, I don't remember what his name is, but he becomes like the another one of these like kind of magical relative characters.
Yes, he does. And ultimately he is killed by all the relatives.
Yes,
from the old country.
When he turns into a werewolf at a family reunion,
gathering,
he is killed, stabbed with knives, and no one likes to see, even the dad who didn't like him, no one likes to see old Squirt laid low like that.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to see a dog death on camera.
No, exactly. DoesTheDogDie.com, Housebroken? Yep. Unfortunately, yes.
Yep.
Then the dad, though, says that he would have been relieved, though, had Squirt stayed around, because nothing could prepare him for the experience of his little girl growing up and getting into boys.
Yeah.
I like the hip-hop song that plays at the end.
Yeah.
So,
what is the production company name again? It's called like it's called Cavity Search Productions.
Yes, great
name.
Great production company name. Coming to us from Passion Project and Cavity Search Pictures.
Yeah.
And a great logo with the doctor and the nurse kind of peering in.
Very funny.
So Housebroken was a super funny, like comedic film that we really liked where it landed in the program, because
it's right in
Duck
the center.
kind of, traded in some drama. Monty Cracks kind of traded in some sort of it felt sort of VHS horror akin, like and also comedic, but Housebroken was a very cleanly executed straight comedic film, and had a great creature in it, which led to us awarding it our Krampus Award for Best Christmas Creature to Squirt.
Yes. All fun. My on the train today, one of my friends came to the festival, and I was on the train with her today because we were going Christmas shopping, and she said, "Housebroken, underrated best film."
Oh, that's a hot take.
So
Hot take.
Just saying. You know, people in the audience, they liked Housebroken.
John, you know, we didn't take a poll on anything else, so, you know, unofficial. You won't be receiving this in the mail, but that's as good as an Audience Choice Award for Best Short of Day One. You know, that's nice.
Yes. So, congratulations. And
yes, fantastic. Congratulations. Thank you for submitting the film. It was a lot of fun. People were really laughing, really enjoying all the performances. The father character was very beloved by the crowd. He gave a lot of great line readings that I think people really enjoyed. Our final pardon.
Oh my God, he's gonna die.
Pardon me. Our final two shorts in our shorts programming was actually really exciting because representatives of the films, filmmakers, were both in attendance. The first of which in this program is the film Space Christmas from director Oscar Berrior.
Bad pronunciation.
How would go? Please
well,
go.
I'm not going to be able to do it well. He actually told me at the screening how to pronounce his last name because I asked him, and he's French.
That's right. Last week we mentioned that Oscar was coming to our festival from Paris, France.
Yes.
And he showed up, and we were just completely like floored that he came.
Yes, I was. You know, and I said, you know, he ended up coming a little bit late because he got mixed up on the trains. So he didn't hear our introductions. So during your intermission, I came up to him and I was like, Oscar, I'm so happy you're here. I have to ask, how do you pronounce your last name? Because when I was introducing the films, I feel like I pronounced yours wrong. And he said it to me. And I tried to say it back, and he smiled and he laughed, which is how I knew. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to say this right.
Now, I want to get into like a brief kind of summary and analysis and talking about what we loved about Space Christmas and made us want to
I loved a lot
program
about
it.
Space Christmas.
But and you know, there are tons of, you know, rotten people that are filmmakers that make amazing movies, and lovely, wonderful people that are incredible people that make kind of lousy movies. So this kind of stuff doesn't really necessarily need to matter when you're talking critically, but I do feel it's important to mention that Oscar was just the sweetest guy in the entire world, and it was such a pleasure to meet him at the festival.
And he's very young, and he has an incredibly bright future.
Yes, if this film is any indication, Oscar has a real eye and a real sense to evoke emotions with editing and really bring something special out. He gave us Ava has one as well. It's in the other room, but I brought this out to display. He gave us a card for Space Christmas.
Yes.
It features one of my favorite things about Space Christmas are the childhood Christmas photographs that play over the opening credits, and then when the we'll get a little more into it, but there are weed brownies that the two main characters eat, and when they start to take effect, it does this really, I found it moving and disorienting at the same time, like montage of flashing these childhood Christmas photos, and it
has a very strong emotional effect, you know. As someone who, when I partake in marijuana, I have very strong reactions. So I totally like understand like seeing like your entire life when the edible hits.
When you're thinking about Christmas,
you're with your friend and you're like, oh my gosh, like we've been alive for all these years, and you know.
Space Christmas tells the story of two young boys who are in kind of a late adolescence, who one of which works at the counter at a convenience store, the other of which is with his father, who's a bit of a drinker, who's kind of a cantankerous old man who says, you know, stay in for Christmas. If you get hungry, bake a cake. Do not touch my Yule log, and then leaves him to the wind on Christmas Eve. And
my gâteau de Noël.
The you keep hitting that French.
I'm so bad at it.
We're gonna get lambasted.
I'm so bad at French. I told Oscar, like, I took French in middle school. I was very bad at it.
The first I don't know exactly how many, but a few minutes of the film are in black and white, save for the red Santa hat worn by our one side character, and the clock.
Yeah.
Elements of red are in red, but the rest is in black and white. But a really lovely tender moment that really made me kind of perk up when we were first screening it, when we were programming, is when the two friends see each other in the convenience store. It fades to color, and they're playing Silent Night in the background, and they have this really tender connection when they the friend with the hat that was in the apartment comes to visit the friend working at the convenience store. From there, they make that that cake that the dad was talking about, but they grind up a little of their marijuana,
some ganja,
and they make some weed butter and make a big old edible that they eat. And it's kind of that classic story of like, are these even working? It's not quite working.
As soon as you're like, oh, I guess the weed isn't going to work, is when the weed hits.
Yes, and
then
then
classic edible situation.
And I think it's
they make a pizza. It's cute.
It's important to note also that Oscar is one of the lead characters in the film.
Yes,
and he does a fantastic job acting in it as well as directing it.
Yeah, and it's very good. All the performances are very like. I mean, maybe it's just a future European films in general, but I feel like people can just be very like subtle and like pulled back. You know what I mean? And not like I don't know, like it just felt very naturalistic.
Yes, definitely.
Everything felt very naturalistic and real. The reason why we put it in Fall to Your Knees is because of
Fall on Your Knees.
Sorry, Fall on Your Knees is because of one, the way it was edited. It was kind of like disorienting, kind of trippy way, like switching between color and black and white and archival footage and
there's just very expressive things that happen, especially after they take the weed, like when they go downstairs and they're going into kind of the storage locker unit.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on. Yeah.
Like, and there's also like things that happen in the plot of it. Like, they go like in the beginning, the father says to his son, he's like, and don't go outside because it's dangerous outside.
Yeah, there are like scary vagrants down in the parking garage.
Criminals outside in the parking garage. So they end up having to go outside to like get something or get some fresh air. After they have the edibles, and because they're kind of tripping, they start seeing kind of scary things. They see like a scary like Santa.
They do see a scary Santa who chases after them for a brief moment. I mean, my favorite sudden that just completely like kind of made me go like, whoa, like tears me out of it in such an interesting and kind of jolting way is when they're going down to the storage locker and the I believe it's Oscar's character goes, can you turn on a light? And his friend, played by Eduardo Costa Goncalves, says, yeah, I got you. And he like turns on like a tube light that makes a lightsaber sound. And it looks like he's waving around a lightsaber, and he's got this giant like
there's
it's
also
very interesting.
There's also the part where they see the man singing, and that's also very like, it's like kind of beautiful but also kind of disorienting. He's singing in English. I can't remember what he was singing, but
they find a microphone and they start singing in the storage locker as well. There's a moment where
when they sing Elvis,
the two main characters sing I Just Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yes, I love Elvis. It was awesome. It's so cool. I really, really, really was just charmed by this film. I thought it was like just very earnest and very cool, and very expressive. And
they end up having a nice Christmas together.
Yeah, it's like sweet. It's a very sweet film. I really enjoyed it.
It was awarded 2 awards at the festival. The first of which was Oscar received Best Editing.
Yes.
And he also came home with Best Foreign Language Film.
Yes, because we received a bunch of foreign language films from all over the world. We received some from South America. We received one from Poland.
We received film from Mexico.
Yeah, from Mexico too. We got a lot of foreign films, but I think this is really the one that like we connected with the most, and we thought was just very cool.
Yeah, it was very,
very, very cool.
Really cool, and really cool to meet Oscar.
Yeah.
And again, we were just completely shocked that he came all the way from Paris to stay in New York. We hope he had a wonderful stay. We hope he had a great time at the festival.
Yes. He was telling me that he ran into like the SantaCon was going on in New York.
Oh,
and he was telling me, he's like, everybody was dressed up like Santa. And I was like,
so funny. It didn't even occur to me that doing this on weekends in December, we might
end up on SantaCon.
Yeah, link up on SantaCon.
On the Saturday it was SantaCon, and I was like, oh no, you came during SantaCon.
How did he seem to respond to SantaCon?
I think he was just like, I think he didn't know what it was.
Like he was just like, what the hell is going on?
Why is everybody dressed as Santa?
It probably felt absurd, not unlike a moment in his film.
Yeah.
I we've never partaken in SantaCon. It just seems like something I don't want
to. And I think if you don't understand us, but you've listened to this podcast, you would say, well, of course they'd go to SantaCon.
Well, they seem like Santa's biggest fans.
No. I'm
sorry.
No interest in getting day drunk dressed as Santa.
There's a real kind of style of individual that partakes in SantaCon and gets like way, way, way into it. And
someone said on TikTok, I thought it was really funny, that SantaCon is like a gentrification simulator for gentrifiers.
I think I saw something like that video maybe got reposted somewhere.
As a gentrifier, being around SantaCon makes you understand why people don't like being around gentrifiers.
She says like something to the effect of like, why are all these really lame white people all dressed the same way
and in my way,
being loud, acting like they own the place in my way?
Yeah. Thought it was very funny.
But a friend of ours posted on her Instagram story that SantaCon 1 year ago, a Santa peed on her dog?
No good.
Insane.
Nothing good about that.
But so, enough about SantaCon.
Trey Mal.
See, that you
very
you did
bad.
well on that one because I knew what you were saying. Very bad. Trey Mal. How would I say very good?
Très
magnifique. Très bien. Space Christmas.
Guys, I like barely like passed French in school. Like there's not a single year where I understood anything happening in class. It was so bad.
Well, Oscar, thank you for sharing your film with us. We hope that your
experience was
good, and we're so happy we got to screen the film at our festival. The next and final film in our shorts programming is another one where we were able to meet the extremely
Eat.
Oh, let's run that back. Let's cut that out. We were able to meet at the festival the
filmmaker, or the writer and the
producer and lead actor Ian Patrick Scott, or Ian Kevin Scott. Ian Kevin Scott. My apologies.
Wow.
Correction.
Wow.
I was looking at the credits and I think I saw the P in director Brandon Polanco's name, but Ian was extremely thoughtful, sweet,
very kind, very thoughtful.
Kind. He came with
a group
with
of people.
Angela, Pietro Pinto, who played the office worker secretary character, as well as Mrs. Claus later in the film, which is something I'm so interested to talk about. And hearing him talk about it was so interesting. He kind of went into it in his cover letter or his director statement on Film Freeway, but in the Q&A, I felt like I got more of a clue into what was going on at the end. But again, outside of the film, getting to meet Ian was such a treat. He brought so many people. It was so nice that he supported the festival in that way. They all came out.
Absolutely lovely human being. I think one of the coolest things so far about this festival is like meeting like lovely human beings.
Yeah, meeting people to come out and support their film and support the other films. I felt specifically and especially in the shorts category, and especially between Space Christmas and Alchemy, because they were both there. There was so much support from the cast member that was there towards Oscar's film, and Oscar towards Ian's film, and it was just really cool to see. And I hope everyone had a good time. Like with Oscar, I hope Ian and Angela and the friends that they brought all had a good time at the festival. And I hope they liked seeing their film shown at QED.
I was certainly extremely excited to watch the film.
Alchemy, I think, is one of the more thought-provoking films that we got, full stop, in general. It's a true art film.
I don't even want to like fully spoil the film talking about it. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
Because I feel like the experience of watching
we've already spoiled it a bit.
I guess,
but not fully.
I guess the experience of watching it is so like when it gets to the ending, like kind of like whoa. Like I remember when we were screening it, I was like whoa.
Yeah.
At the end,
it does not seem like a quote unquote Christmas movie for the longest time, and then suddenly it becomes one in the most sudden and interesting and compelling way possible. That I think I will skirt the line and talk about it without fully spoiling it. Where Ian mentioned in the Q&A, it questions iconography and paganism, commercialism, and different interpretations of myth and legend and iconography.
Yeah.
You might be able to draw somewhat of a conclusion, but based on everything you've heard, but the way the reveal is pulled off is really sudden and very I mean, it has a great effect.
And it looks really good, especially when you get to the reveal.
Really beautiful movie.
It looks really, really good.
C.J. Baker, the director of photography, and again, Brandon Polanco, the director.
I deeply enjoyed the look of this film.
It kind of reminds me in the beginning. So the beginning plot, which it really is about the sensation of watching it, is Ian's character shows up to an office, is brought in by Angelo's character. And he has to take a written test as some sort of, it feels like it's a job interview-esque thing. Yeah. And he starts with this projector in the corner, kind of the frame kind of draws the audience, the way it's edited and shot. The audience is drawn to this projector in the corner in this boardroom. And he doesn't have a pen initially, and then the pen starts to light his paper on fire. There's
a lot that happens. I mean, like the way he describes it, Ian describes it, is it's like an experimental horror film. So like
that was written to stay awake on a long Amtrak, which is interesting.
Which he told us, but it definitely feels like there's more going on than just like something that you write to write something. You know,
it really
feels
does.
Like there's something going on with it. So it all takes place in one room basically, and he has to take this test, and the room is getting hot, and like there's like a PA overhead, like instructor, telling him to do things every so often, or interviewing him, and it's like it just feels very heightened and stressful and hot and scary, and the lights are too bright and all sorts of things like that. And then there was like the tagline of the film is like an epic transformation, and then an epic transformation occurs.
And boy, is it epic.
Yeah. It is really cool.
We to reveal the award will also kind of give you a picture of what Ian looks like. You might even see him in the pre-roll of the edit that we're going to put together at the beginning of this, and it might also give you an even more of a hint into what occurs in the film. Ian is the recipient of our festival's Best Santa Claus Award.
Yes.
Because after watching Alchemy, we had a couple more films to watch, and we were, open to being proven wrong. But after we saw that, we went, well, we have to show that, and we have to give him Best Santa.
Absolutely. I mean, who else could you possibly give it to after that?
Yeah.
It was just so freaking cool. He was the coolest, most like thoughtful, interesting guy. He was
a true artistic type.
He's colorblind, which is really cool.
Yes, and there's so much use of color in the film, and he kind of talked about the color in the film. Ava asked a question to both Ian and Oscar for Space Christmas. How color kind of informed their films, because they're both films that use color in different
ways that are very expressive
and emotional. Yeah. And Ian gave an answer wherein he revealed that he's colorblind, and a lot of the different colors in the film were informed by his colorblindness.
It's so flipping freaking cool.
It kind of it's really its own thing, and it's very different than this film, but certain aesthetic and kind of like, it's not a satirical film, but it's certainly, its setting draws something of an association in your mind of like corporate culture. It kind of had a shade of that Steven Soderbergh film Schizopolis, in a way, in kind of an abstract, using a office setting as a springboard to get a little more abstract. But Alchemy is also very different than that in what it's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alchemy, Best Santa, to Ian Kevin Scott.
Yeah, really cool film. And it was so cool that it was both Ian and Oscar there, because both of their films were like definitely the more like expressive artistic films that we screened. I mean, like every film has like artistic merit, like duh. Like,
certainly.
Every film has artistic merit. And but in terms of like capital A like art film, Space Christmas and Alchemy were those films.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool that they were both there.
Definitely. They had a lot
kind of like our Q&A was very brief, but to like be able to talk to them.
They really complemented each other in the in the fact that they were the two filmmakers present.
Maybe I'm like really good at programming.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see next week. Come to the tomorrow. Come pull up to QED. Find out.
Yeah, find out if I'm really amazing at programming.
So after the shorts block and after our brief 5-minute bathroom drink break intermission, we had our feature film presentation. Yes. We had our first feature of the festival, the 1 hour, 31 minute, 42 second film, A Very Flattened Christmas, from director Shane Wallace. This is I think I said this on last week's episode, this is a stoner buddy comedy slasher Christmas film where
it's about killer roadkill.
Yeah, killer reindeer roadkill, killing off people that work at a roadkill collection service.
Which I guess is a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that actually exists. But this film was kind of cool because you could see like some of the inspirations and the comedy in it.
Yes.
It's particularly in the beginning. We have this character who's like supposed to be like the town bully.
Oh my gosh.
And the town bully, but the most successful man in the town.
Yeah, but also like the local boy that really made good and became a Hollywood like superstar.
Yeah. And his name is Dick Puncher.
That's right, Dick Puncher.
And he's so much like a Danny McBride
He
character.
Really has a Danny McBride sense about him.
Yeah.
I adored Dick Puncher. He was my favorite character I met maybe this whole festival. Dick Puncher is there's also intercut in the film, and we can do a very brief, we don't need to go granular. We're also not doing snowball ratings for these films. Every film that we are showing is 5 snowballs, guys. So don't even fucking start.
They're all amazing. They're all amazing.
And you know, we won't go as hair by hair. We want you to watch these. We want you to see these. If they end up in the online portion, which some of the films definitely will, we want you to take these as recommendations to experience them themselves.
Yes.
But since Flattened Christmas is our feature, we will tell you a little bit more of what it's about. But what I wanted to say was there is an intercut animated film in the Dick Puncher film series that we are shown throughout it, which is one of the funniest things I've seen.
So funny
for the festival,
and it's also like so high effort.
The animation is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like really interesting because this movie is like definitely a low budget slasher film, like, you know, and that's not like at all like knocking anything.
No,
like that's not knocking anything. So but when we get to the Dick Puncher animated sequence, it's like, whoa,
yeah, Dick Puncher saves Christmas.
And it also is like, it's like, yes, these people like care about making an awesome movie, and they have like a vision, and they want to make an awesome movie, and I loved that
and
so much.
There's a lot of stuff like the whole concept reeks of like how to make the most awesome Christmas killer film out there. The film centers around Max, played by producer Keaton Toothman. Max has been out of town for a while. He used to work at this roadkill collection company, but then one of the employees, DJ, gets killed while smuggling marijuana outside in the kind of outskirts of town and is killed in a mysterious way. He comes back for the funeral. He brushes up against Dick Puncher. He reconnects.
Brushes up against the dick.
Yeah. He reconnects with his old buddy Dan, and reconnects with his like a never quite realized love interest.
Well, are we talking about the love interest that he does not actually like?
Well, yes,
okay.
Yeah. There's sort of like a will they, won't they type pool. She's more interested
in it
than him.
Yeah.
This is I'm trying to find the actors. Oh yeah, Maddie, played by Kami McCandless.
Yes, and the film is awesome. It is a cult. You know, we see like satanic rituals, naked women.
Yes, there's nudity in this film.
Graphic violence and
Day
gore.
1 was an 18+ day, for sure.
Yeah.
Day 2, maybe a little less so. There will be drug references and profanity for sure, but no nudity on Day 2 on Joy to the World.
Yeah, I'm like thinking in my head, like, yeah.
We tried to save the most sordid stuff for Day 1. Probably most of our movies had some sort of drug usage in Day 1.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny because like
crazy.
I like didn't realize until I was watching the program like at the festival that I'm like, oh, like there's a lot of cocaine snorting jokes.
Yeah, Duck, Monty Cracks, Very Flattened Christmas.
They all
and Space Christmas doesn't have Coke, but they do weed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they all have drug usage in them.
So funny. It's so funny. Yeah, and like I really didn't realize until I was watching the program. I was like, oh, maybe I should have but I like it. I'm glad there was drugs everywhere. It was funny.
But one of the employees is sent out to collect a piece of roadkill on Christmas Eve while everybody is at the holiday party after the funeral, and she runs into who killed DJ, and it's none other than a broken antlered animated killer reindeer, zombie reindeer.
By animated we mean
like
reanimated. Like, he's like alive,
and he's like in a big like character costume head.
Yeah.
My favorite line is when she says, is it something like I'm gonna kill you, zombie Bambi?
Yeah.
And shoots it with a gun.
Lots of funny lines. Lots of funny lines.
Yeah, my least favorite part of the movie, I have to say, was when Dick Puncher was killed.
Yeah, I kind of wish Dick Puncher was in it for longer because he had such like a pop of being funny.
He's such a prick, and he's so funny, and he's so like he does that.
I wanted him to be like an antagonist in a way. Like if I was going to do like a rewrite of the movie.
Okay.
I would have Dick Puncher be like the red herring antagonist. Like I would make it so that it seems like, oh, like is maybe Dick Puncher the one behind all these murders?
Yeah,
because he's such an asshole, you know, and like I have a few more red herrings there. So you can keep it in the movie for a little bit longer, and then when he gets killed, you're like, oh shoot, it wasn't Dick Puncher.
Yeah.
And then like, you know. That's it. If I was going to make any changes, that's what I would do. But that being said, I mean, like I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, and like there are some twists and turns. Again, we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But when I watched this, I have to say, it became clear at a certain point that this was not an actual reindeer. This was a person that was in a costume, which makes a lot of sense. The cult element is still scary enough. I have to say, I was a little surprised by who the killer was.
I did not see it coming.
I did not have them. I'm not going to reveal who. I did not have them pegged as the killer. And when it was revealed, I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
And even then, after they reveal who the killer is, there's even yet another deeper layer surprise in the reveal, which I think is just, you know,
it was fun.
Really strong work to be able to play out like that.
It was fun.
It's really a funny movie, and I highly recommend, you know, a very flattened Christmas. When we watched it, we were like, this is, you know, you come to this festival to see this kind of off the beaten path Christmas stoner comedy slasher movie.
Exactly. It was super fun. lots of fun performances, lots of funny moments, some good kills, some creative kills.
Yes, definitely.
It was because, that's the worst thing in like a low budget slasher film when none of the kills are creative.
No, exactly.
So I really did value, don't exit out of Photoshop, please.
Oh, I wasn't going to.
Yeah. I really value when their kills are creative.
No, exactly. And Ava, can you tell us the award that was received by A Very Flattened Christmas?
Well, A Very Flattened Christmas received the Best Actress Award, and we're giving it to, let me pull up her name. Wait, why can it's Becky. Oh, Becky Jenek.
Becky Jenek. Jerry Ann. Jerry Ann gives such a...
she hams it up.
She gives a truly comedic, big, broad, and I mean that as a compliment, super fun comedic performance. So very deserved of our Festival Best Actress Award for Becky Jenek as Jerry Ann in Shane Wallace's... It's Wallace. Oh my God, the reading on this episode. In Shane Wallace's A Very Flattened Christmas. It was so fun to show this movie at the festival.
Really fun.
Sort of a sneaker sad ending, though.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's another thing that kind of shocked me when we screened this. I was like, whoa, that really ends on like a bummer. I don't like seeing this happen, but...
Yeah, I want my heroes to win, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
We won't go into it.
Great time. I really had a great time at Day 1.
All in all, Day 1, Fall on Your Knees of the Christmas Film Showcase, I think was a smashing success.
Smashing. I thought it was fantastic. I think, we picked some really cool films. I think next week we're going to have some really, really cool films.
Yeah, Ava, I mean, there are no snowball rankings on this one. So, to kind of lead us out, what can we look forward to next week at Day 2, Joy to the World?
Ooh, Joy to the World. You can expect some Christmas criminals.
Christmas criminals?
Whether they're...
Well, I don't think I'm going to like those.
Whether they're coke-dealing Christmas fiends.
Oh.
Or they're
gift thieves?
Gift thieves, or some might even call pirates.
You're telling me we might have some Christmas pirates?
There might be some Christmas pirates.
What else can we expect, Ava?
You can expect some really creative retellings of, or even imaginings of, what happens to Scrooge the day afterwards.
You mean two different visions of what happens after the classic Dickens Scrooge film or story?
Two different
Christmas Carol?
Two different visions of the day after for Scrooge. We have December 26th, A Humbug Hangover, and we have Ebenezer the Traveler.
Our feature film, Ebenezer the Traveler.
Yes. So,
oh my God.
Fantastic. We have now I'm blinking.
Well, we have a movie with a cuss in the title.
Oh, yes. We have Fuck You, Old Man.
Really cool movie. I can't wait for people to see. I thought this one was quite a good one.
Fantastically well executed.
Loved Fuck You, Old Man.
Fantastically executed.
We have some stop motion.
That's
right. We have a whole lot. That's Day 2.
It's going to be amazing.
We're going to give one more plug. This is the last time we're going to ask for your hard-earned money on this podcast this year. Again, $10. This is tomorrow, December 22nd. Yeah, the price of 2 lattes.
The price of a latte and a half.
This is tomorrow, December 22nd at 3 p.m. at QED in Astoria in Queens in New York City. This is the Christmas Film Showcase. Show out. Day 1 was awesome. Be there for Day 2. Joy to the world.
Get a beer, sit down, have a good time.
That's right. QED, they have beer, they have coffee, they have popcorn.
They have wine.
Full service, bar, snack, coffee, all that
they have
stuff.
Fresh baked cookies.
It's awesome.
It's really a great venue. I was talking to Will. I was like, we really picked a good venue for what this festival is.
I do think we lucked out. Yeah, it really fits our needs for the festival, as well as it has so many benefits. I feel like people really appreciated being able to get a coffee, get a drink, get
a glass of water. You can't do that at every theater.
No, God knows.
Can't do that at every theater. And it's affordable and it's cool and it's a great old time.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week.
And as always, ho, ho, ho.
And happy holidays.
That's right. Show out for Day 2, last day of the Christmas Film Showcase. You won't want to miss it, baby.